Hello and welcome back to the channel, and this is the new project that we've got.
So this is 2023 Mazda MX-5 exclusive line, I believe it was. Really nice car, or it would have been a really nice car prior to the accident, obviously. It's only got 1,500 miles on it, so on the inside still even smells brand new. The damage that we have got is the back arch. So you can see there, crinkled in. I'll have to do something about that. Car's hopefully going to work his magic on that. And then as we move around, there's no other damage really to the back end other than that back arch. And then obviously here's where the actual main bits of damage are, as you can see. So we need a new front bumper, front grille. I'm hoping that that headlight is going to be okay. There's a little tiny bit of a surface scratch on it, so as we take off the front bumper and get to it, we'll see if that's salvageable or not. So further to that, there's other parts of the car that we can look at in a bit more detail. Hopefully I'm going to try and get this front bumper off today and see what the damage is behind the front bumper. Checked before, there's coolant still in there, so hopefully that means there's no damage to any radiators or anything like that. It's only a tiny engine in these anyway, so the actual, all the rads and stuff are set quite far back from the front bumper, front grille, so I don't expect there to be any issues with any of that. It might just be the crash bars. They're most likely going to be creased on that one side at least, but we'll have a look at that in a bit more detail. At the front end here, the bonnet now, I was hoping that Carl was going to be able to save this. I'm going to have a chat with him later on, see whether he can or not. Otherwise, obviously, it's a bonnet as well. The wing actually looks okay. I think we'll be okay with the wing. It is pushed back a little bit, so it's catching on the door now. You can see a little bit of a scuff there where it's been catching as you open and close the door now. And the bonnet, like the pedestrian lifesavers or whatever you want to call them, they've popped on it. So another new thing that we'll have to get, and I'm assuming we'll need to get some of these hinges as well. I'm assuming that's somehow connected to that, but we'll see. Inside, so as I say, it's virtually brand new car this, and it is really nice inside, to be fair. Airbags have gone, seat belts have gone. Had a look on eBay already, and it's only looking like about 500 quid for us to get a full dash airbag kit, and that includes the seat belts as well. How easy or hard it is to take this dash. I think of all cars to do it on, this is probably, for a new car, this will probably be one of the easier ones, just because it's a bit back to basics with these MX-5s. They're not really like your plush German cars, but yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a fairly easy job, that. Hopefully I can get everything
In and out easy enough, because we've got the convertible roof, so we can just drop the top, gives us really good access then. Good one to start on for doing a dash replacement. With this, we got really lucky as well. Windscreen's not been taken out by the passenger airbag, so another bonus, we don't have to replace that.
So yeah, that's a bit of an overview of the car, the state it's in at the moment. And yeah, I'm hoping, to be honest, we'll do a bit of a parts list tonight.
And hopefully I wasn't too far out with my projected prices from the list that I did before buying this. If you're going to buy a car from a salvage auction site, just make sure you're looking at all the pictures, you're noting down all the parts that it looks like it might need and things that you think it could potentially need. And then make sure you're doing a bit of a spreadsheet and just jotting down numbers on there, looking on eBay, seeing what things are going for. Make sure it makes financial sense. Make sure you've got a good margin there if you're looking to sort of sell it on, or even just keeping it yourself. And make sure you stick to your limit on your bidding. Don't get excited, don't get carried away. It's easy done.
One other thing I did miss is, obviously, you can see here, you've got the cap missing for the wing mirror. Its glass is smashed as well, so another thing to add to the list. And as I say, other than that, could do with giving it a good old clean down and go from there. Right, first thing I'm going to do, try and have a whip off of this front bumper. Once that's done, we'll see where we're at with what's behind it, how much damage has gone past what we can see from the outside on the front end, and hopefully it's not too bad, but we'll see. Just take a quick look under the bonnet, see what we're looking at from there. And you can actually see here, looks like we may need to get a headlight, because it looks like that bracket's completely gone on there, which is very annoying. But yeah, so that's another thing to add to the list that I was hoping I'd have got away with. Other than that, can't really see much until I strip off this, so I'll get to it, get that off, and then we'll see what else is behind there.
Right, so car came round and we cracked on with stripping that front bumper off. So the main plan with this was just to get it off, get as much sort of visual as we could behind that bumper bar, and then we can actually see what we need to order up in terms of replacement parts. With there being a couple of crash bars behind here, it was a case of making sure we had the right numbers on there. So any part numbers were obviously going to be really important for the orders list. As soon as I can do that, then obviously we can get the parts in and we can get everything replaced. One thing we really did struggle with was because of the impact in this sort of front corner, if you like, the crash bars where they'd folded in and basically pinched the front bumper. So it was really hard to get that off. So we really had to basically just use a bit of brute force to pull it out off the actual crash bars themselves, which wasn't a problem because these parts are going in the scraps, as they'll all be getting replaced anyway with either brand new parts or, where we can, second-hand good parts. So all we'll be doing with these parts before we do scrap them is just making sure we've noted down any part numbers that are on them, and obviously taking as many pictures as possible before getting rid of them, just so we know where things are meant to be going when we are fitting the new or second-hand parts that we're coming back onto the car. So the next focus we had was on the driver's side headlight, and we just wanted to pull that out. Again, we'll be looking to grab part numbers off this, seeing how well the connections are, making sure all the back of it's okay, and making sure all the actual wiring loom's okay. I'm glad to say that was the case. There's nothing wrong with the wiring going to it, but yeah, definitely need to replace that headlight. So just looking at the crash sensor on the front here, so this one we'll definitely have to replace because this one would have been affected by the crash being in that corner on the front end. So it's making sure we've got the part numbers from that. Right, so far this is where we've gotten up to, and just showing you the damage behind the actual bumper bar. So as you can see here, crash can completely crumpled in, and you can clearly see both the bottom and the top crash bars have been pushed in as well. So that leaves us with very limited access to actually get to those bolts that are holding those bars in place as well, unfortunately. So that was a bit of a challenge to do. But the positive thing is we don't seem to have any structural damage beyond the point of the crash bars, the crash can. So that's really, really positive. This was classed as a Cat S, and obviously whenever you're buying a Cat S, there is that chance that you might have structural damage on, but I believe that now to be due to that back arch being creased in, not due to the front end damage, because as I say, there's no kinks, nothing's sort of untoward beyond these crash cans and crash bars, other than that wing being pushed into the driver's door, but doesn't seem to be any kinks or anything like that that's caused that. What you do tend to find is if you do get a car with a dint in the back arch, normally they will Cat S that just because they can't get behind that panel. We found that out with the Audi S5 as well, which have been Cat S for similar sort of damage on the back end and the sill being dented in. Going forward, when we come to fit all the new parts, that'll be the proof in terms of whether anything has been affected. But at this stage, really positive, and yeah, don't expect to have any issues with that.
Crash bar off, and just to access a couple of bolts and to butcher it a little bit, but obviously it's going in scrap anyway, so it's no worries. Bottom crash bar also now got to come off, crash can there as well, and we'll do a bit of a parts list in a minute as well, work out what else there is to strip and order.
Right, that's both crash bars off, and we also have the loom there as well, so the front loom that attaches to the crash sensors and the fog lights as well. And we're just looking at stripping all the parts that we can salvage off this front bumper now. So it's taking out the fog lights, any of the grills that are salvageable, plastic trims, and like the front splitter sections as well. The plan is to reuse whatever we can off this, so any bits that we can save on having to buy, we will do. As this was pretty much a brand new car, it's only had 1500 miles on, we do want to keep whatever parts we possibly can with the car. Also, taking part numbers again, there are a few parts on this that we can't salvage, and if we can't get a replacement bumper with all the grills and everything attached to it, then we might need to buy them separately as well, so we will need that information before we chuck them away. So that's a successful day. We've got the front end stripped of all the broken parts, and now got a decent parts list to go off to go and actually source and get some quotes on some new and some used parts. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you can, please hit us a like, and if you've not done already, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Next video I'm going to try and upload is probably going to be the airbag replacement. Until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.